I'm going to talk today about care of sheep in cold weather. And sheep obviously have wool, and so that's a point for them during cold weather. But you have to also bear in mind that the wool needs care. So if it's going to be wet and cold, like we had freezing rain, and I shut the sheep up because I know if their wool gets wet, it'll stay wet for 4 or 5 days. And likewise with their shelter, you want to make sure it's dry. Okay, so beyond keeping them dry in a proper shelter, you want to, first of all, think about should you breed your animals for having babies in cold weather? Do you want the kids in the coldest months? So you're thinking ahead for what you don't want to do. We breed ours for when the weather has warmed. Now, number 2, you want to feed for cold weather. Keep in mind that heavy stemmed hay, grass hay, is harder to digest for them, and digestion keeps their body temperature up. So you also want to feed them grain. They need extra calories to stay warm in cold weather. Keep to their feeding schedule because, poor little baby, slipping on the ice, because it's going to upset them if you're off time, and they already have stress from the cold. Watch their water. They do drink less water than goats, but make sure that it's, you might want to pour some lukewarm water in there. Make sure it's broken out at the least. They can dehydrate in cold weather. As far as heat lights go, you probably don't want to do that with sheep because it's going to prevent proper growth of wool for the weather that's coming, as well as sheep can overheat under heat light because they are wearing that wool. And it's a fire danger, of course. Coats are dangerous for sheep, so you don't really want to do that. You can get tangled in it. Bedding, as far as bedding goes, we don't do bedding, as anybody who watches our videos knows. Coldest times you could, but of course if your sheep, you want your sheep for wool, the more you do for bedding, the more their wool is going to get debris in it. But that having been said, it's not the number one thing isn't your wool, even if it is. You need to watch out for the health of the animal. Wood chips are more absorbent, but they'll eat them, and they're all eating bark and wood this time of year. Straw is more insulating than hay, but it's not as absorbent. We use grass hay, a quality good enough for bedding, because they're going to eat it, but keep it clean. We haven't cleaned in here yet today, and it is a mess. This is just the leftover hay they've strewn around. So if you're going to do bedding, you want to keep it clean, keep it dry, because it can't insulate if it's wet or poopy. Last of all, remember predators in cold weather. They're out and about, and they're looking for what's easy. So you want to make sure you lock up your animals an hour before sunset or earlier. And watch out for them as far as, because like I say, I've had them locked up for 2 days over this freezing rain on the ground because I didn't want them to slip and fall and hurt themselves. So, and also because the predators are moving right now. Things like raccoons and bears are kind of quiet during these really cold times, but things like coyotes probably are doing a little bit more moving around. We're hearing a lot more from them right now. Last of all, and this is a preventative issue, it's kind of a little bit too late at this point when it's cold, but make sure that your parasite level is down, because if their weight is low, they're not going to be able to insulate as well. So this has been keeping a sheep in cold weather. By the way, it's a lot easier than keeping sheep in hot weather.